Why are you smiling like that? I asked, my voice trembling.
He didn't look at me.
He just sipped his coffee like he owned the world. Smiling? I'm not smiling. Don't lie to me. I saw the messages. My hands shook. All those late nights, the excuses, everything. Was it her? He finally met my eyes, calm and cold. It's not like that. You're overreacting. Overreacting? I laughed bitterly, tears brimming. I see the way you look at her. I hear the way you laugh on the phone. Overreacting? He leaned back, arms crossed. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not cheating. It's complicated. Complicated? Complicated is having a fight over spilled milk. Not this. I slammed my hand on the counter. I gave you everything. My trust, my life, my love, and you. He cut me off, voice flat. And I did what I needed to do. I can't help who I feel attracted to. It's not my fault. Not your fault. I whispered, shock and pain mixing. Everything we built. Was that not real to you? I never said it wasn't real. But people change. Feelings change. His tone was annoyingly calm, like he was reading from a script. I took a step closer, trying to keep my voice steady. So, you just throw us away, because someone else makes you happy? He shrugged. I didn't throw you away. I just moved on. I felt a hollow ache in my chest, like someone had ripped out a piece of me. Moved on. I repeated, my voice barely audible. You think it's that simple? He looked away, and for a second, I saw a flicker of guilt, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. It's life. You can't control it. I swallowed hard, trying to hold back a sob. I trusted you. I believed in us. And this is what I get. He didn't answer. He never had the right words. The house felt smaller, suffocating. I realized then that the life I thought I had, perfect, safe, certain, was nothing but smoke and mirrors. I turned to leave, my hands trembling, my heart shattering. Don't expect me to beg, I said. Because I won't. He said nothing, just watched me go, like a king observing a fallen subject. As I closed the door behind me, I felt rage and despair twisting inside me. My world had crumbled, yes, but somewhere in that pain, a thought emerged. I would never let anyone break me like this again. Not him. Not anyone. Are you sure this is what you want? My sister asked, her voice gentle but tense. I have no choice, I muttered, staring at the papers in front of me. It's over. There's nothing left. She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. I know it hurts. I hate seeing you like this. I hate it too, I said, swallowing hard. But he made his choice. And now I have to make mine. You're strong, you know that, right? She said, eyes glistening. You'll get through this. I laughed bitterly. Strong? I feel like I've been stripped of everything. My house, my life, my dignity. How is that strong? You'll rebuild, she said firmly. And when you do, you'll be unstoppable. I shook my head, tears threatening. I don't even know where to start. Every memory is poisoned. Every corner of this house reminds me of him. You don't need to face it alone, she said softly. I'm here. Mom's here. Friends who actually care about you are here. Lean on us. I bit my lip, feeling a mix of anger and shame. I don't want pity. I want justice, somehow. I want to feel like I matter. You matter, she said, her voice steady. Don't let anyone, especially him, make you feel otherwise. Not now, not ever. I nodded slowly, my chest tight. I know you're right, but it doesn't change the fact that I lost everything I thought I had. I can't stop seeing him in my mind, smiling like I was nothing to him. That's why you need to focus on you, she said. You can't change him. You can't change the past. But you can shape your future. I don't even know who I am anymore. I admitted, my voice breaking. I spent years believing in us, in him, and now you realize your worth, she interrupted gently. Now you see that you can't let someone else define your life. You get to decide who you are and what you want. I looked at her, feeling a flicker of something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. Do you really think I can do it? I know you can, she said firmly. I've seen you fight before. And this will be your greatest fight yet. But I promise, you're not alone. I drew a shaky breath, feeling the weight of despair slowly shift into determination. All right, I said, finally meeting her gaze. I'll try. Not for him. Not for anyone. For me. Her smile was small but real. That's my sister. And remember, this isn't the end. It's just the bitter part of the beginning. I nodded, letting her words sink in. For the first time since the divorce, I felt a tiny spark of resolve. Maybe I had been broken, but I wasn't finished yet. I woke with a start, my heart pounding, as if it had something urgent to tell me. What is this? I whispered to the empty room. A strange clarity settled over me. Every betrayal, every tear, every humiliating moment, it was all there. But this time, I remembered everything before it happened. Every choice I had made, every mistake, every moment I'd let him hurt me. I sat up, gripping the sheets. This can't be real, can it? A soft knock came at the door. Are you awake? I blinked and saw him, Mr. Han, the man who had once taught me business basics. He looked older, confident, calm. I heard about what happened. I wanted to check on you. I laughed bitterly. Check on me? Do you know what's happened? My life is in ruins. I do, he said gently. And I also know something you don't yet. You're not finished. Not even close. What do you mean? I asked, confused and skeptical. My husband left me. My career is ruined. What's left? Exactly that, he said. You have a chance to rebuild. A second chance. Most people never get it. You already know what mistakes to avoid. I shook my head, trying to grasp the thought. Second chance. Are you saying I could start over? Fix everything. I'm saying you can be smarter, stronger, and in control, he said firmly. I can help you, but you have to want it. You have to fight for it. Do you? I stared at him, my chest tightening. Of course I want it. But how? Everything feels impossible. He smiled, a small, knowing curve of his lips. Start small. Learn the rules. Understand power. Use what you have now, your knowledge, your mind, your connections. And never, ever let anyone take advantage of you again. I swallowed hard. And you, why help me? He looked at me seriously. Because I see potential. Because I know you can rise higher than you realize. And because sometimes the world owes a second chance to those who deserve it. My thoughts spun. I could feel the spark, the tiniest flicker of hope, buried beneath layers of pain and despair. If I fail, it's all gone. I can't afford mistakes. Then don't, he said. Plan every move. Think ahead. Anticipate betrayal before it happens. That's how winners survive. I nodded slowly, determination threading through my fear. All right. I'll do it. I'll start over. And this time, no one will control me. No one will hurt me again. That's the spirit, he said, standing. We'll begin tomorrow. First, we assess your assets, your skills, your strengths. Then we build. Step by step, you'll rise, and I'll guide you if you're willing to learn. I said, voice firm, steadying myself. I can't waste this chance. Not again. I'll be stronger, smarter, unstoppable. He nodded. Good. Remember, every moment counts. Every decision shapes your future. And trust me, you have a fire in you that even betrayal couldn't kill. Now arise. I clenched my fists, my mind racing with plans, possibilities, and a hunger I hadn't felt before. The world had taken everything from me once. This time, I would take everything back. I whispered to myself, I won't be powerless again. Never. I stepped into the office, my palms slightly sweaty, my mind buzzing with determination. You're early, Mr. Han said, leaning against the desk, arms crossed. Good. Shows initiative. But remember, initiative without knowledge is useless. I'm ready, I said, trying to sound confident. I want to learn everything. I won't waste this chance. He raised an eyebrow. Do you even know where to start? I, I think so, I said, swallowing hard. But I know I'll make mistakes. Good, he said, smiling faintly. Mistakes teach more than victories ever will. First lesson. In business, everyone underestimates you at first. Use it. Turn it into your advantage.
How?
I asked, leaning forward. If they underestimate me, how do I stop them from walking over me? Observe, he said. Listen.
Watch.
Understand their weaknesses before you show your own strength. I nodded, committing every word to memory. And when I see a chance, I act?
Exactly.
But patience is key. Rash moves get punished. We moved to the strategy board. Let's start with investments, he said. You have some capital, but it's not enough to play big. So you need leverage, partnerships, and timing. I frowned. I've never done anything like this before. Then that's your advantage, he said. You're unpredictable. Most people stick to what they know. You'll surprise them. Later, I met my first potential partner, a young businessman named Leo. He looked me up and down, smirking. You? You think you can manage anything? I forced a calm smile. I know my abilities, and I know what I want. You can either be part of it, or you can watch me do it without you. He chuckled. Bold words. We'll see if you can back them up. I left the meeting simmering with determination. Underestimate me one more time, I muttered to myself, and you'll regret it. Mr. Han pulled me aside. Notice how they doubted you, he said. That's the first test. You need to read people faster than they read you. I get it, I said, feeling a flicker of confidence. Control perception, control power.
Exactly, he said, nodding.
Now, a failure I need you to experience. You'll make a small investment mistake, intentionally. Learn to recover gracefully, not panic. I hesitated. Intentionally fail? Isn't that risky? Every risk teaches something, he said. Trust me. You can't grow without it. By the end of the day, I had lost a modest sum on paper, but gained lessons worth far more. I realized that patience, observation, and careful calculation mattered more than rushing for quick wins. Sitting alone in my apartment that night, I whispered to myself, I will master this. I will rise. I'll be unstoppable, and when the time comes, he'll see that losing me was the biggest mistake of his life. The spark of revenge intertwined with ambition, pushing me to plan, strategize, and never again be powerless. This was just the beginning, but I knew every failure, every lesson, and every calculated risk would shape me into someone no one could ever dismiss again. I watched the news feed on my laptop, a small smile tugging at my lips. Perfect timing, I muttered. My assistant, Mia, glanced up. Are you serious? You actually set this up? Every detail, I said, leaning back in my chair. He won't see it coming. Not a single hint. Mia raised an eyebrow. He'll be furious. Good, I said, eyes sparkling. He deserves it. Within hours, the story hit the online business community, a minor scandal, carefully worded, implicating his company in a mismanaged investment. Not catastrophic, but enough to make him sweat. Did you see the comments? Mia asked, scrolling. People are already questioning him. I laughed quietly.
Yes.
Exactly what I wanted. Panic, discomfort, subtle chaos. You're amazing, she said, shaking her head. I can't believe this actually works. I paused, a shadow crossing my face. I feel guilty a little. Mia tilted her head. Guilty? You're not doing anything illegal. You're proving a point. I know, I whispered, but it's him. He hurt me. He humiliated me. And now, my fingers clenched into fists. I get to see him squirm. The next morning, I saw the ripple effect. Investors called his office. Partners questioned decisions, and he, predictably, fumbled through explanations on live interviews. A chuckle escaped me. Breathe, savor it. I muttered to myself. Mia leaned closer. He hasn't noticed you're behind this, right? Not yet, I said, eyes narrowed. I'm careful. This isn't about exposure. It's about influence, control. I replayed our last conversation in my mind, the memory of him smiling like I was nothing. That memory fueled me, made the thrill sweeter. Hours later, a mutual acquaintance called me.
You might want to see this, she said.
I opened the message, a screenshot of his furious text to his assistant. What is happening? He demanded.
Who leaked this?
I sipped my coffee slowly. Not my concern, I murmured. Let karma do the rest. Mia shook her head in disbelief. You're terrifying. Maybe, I said softly, almost to myself. But it feels good. Justice, finally. And the best part? I didn't have to confront him directly. I didn't beg, I didn't cry. I just set the stage. A small thrill coursed through me, a mix of satisfaction and lingering pain. He would feel the consequences soon, whether he realized it or not. I like this, I said quietly, eyes fixed on the screen. I like knowing I can fight back, even from the shadows. Mia smiled.
Careful, though.
Don't let it consume you. I nodded, but my gaze lingered on the chaos I'd created. I won't stop, I said, voice low. This is just the beginning. Karma, my revenge, it's already in motion. For the first time in months, I slept that night with a lightness in my chest. Power didn't feel bad. It felt right that I thought I could trust Leo. I thought his partnership was genuine. But today, everything felt off. Did you see the contract I sent? I asked him, voice steady but probing. Leo smirked.
Yes.
But I think there are some adjustments to be made. Minor details. Minor details? I echoed, narrowing my eyes. You changed clauses without telling me? He shrugged, leaning back casually. It's just business. You can't take everything so personally. I take business personally when someone tries to cheat me, I said, heat rising. Are you trying to sabotage me? He laughed, a sharp, mocking sound. Sabotage? That's a strong word. I'm just protecting my interests. Isn't that what partners do? Protect your interests by undermining me? I shot back. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I'm capable of? Leo's smirk faltered slightly, but he recovered quickly. Relax. You're talented, I'll give you that. But don't get ahead of yourself. I clenched my fists under the table. I trusted you. And now you almost cost me an important deal. How long have you been planning this? Planning what? He asked innocently, though his eyes betrayed him. Don't play games with me, Leo, I said firmly. I see everything. Every motive, every hidden agenda. And I won't let anyone, especially so-called allies, use me. He leaned forward, voice dropping. You're intense. Too intense for this game. Maybe you're not ready for what's coming. I smiled, cold and controlled. Maybe I am. Maybe that's why I already know you won't succeed without me. You overestimate your cleverness, underestimate my resolve. Leo's jaw tightened. You're fearless. Dangerous. I'm both, I said softly, savoring the weight of the words. And you'll learn that betrayal always has consequences. I don't forget. I don't forgive easily. He hesitated, then leaned back, silent. I could see him calculating, realizing for the first time that I wasn't an easy target. After he left, I called Mia. We have a problem, I said. What happened? She asked, alarmed. Leo isn't loyal, I said. He has his own agenda, and he's trying to edge me out of the deal. We need to act before he causes more damage. Do you want me to confront him? She asked. No, I said, shaking my head. I'll handle this. Indirectly. He won't see it coming. I spent the afternoon reviewing emails, contracts, and interactions. Every move, every word, they all pointed to the same conclusion. Leo had planned this carefully, thinking I'd never notice. I whispered to myself, not this time.
Not me.
I'm stronger now. I'm smarter. I won't let anyone betray me and walk away unscathed. Mia peeked into the room. Are you okay? Better than okay, I said, voice calm but sharp. I expected loyalty, but I got betrayal.
Fine.
Let them underestimate me. That's their biggest mistake. I leaned back, letting the fury and disappointment mix with satisfaction. Betrayal revealed more than weakness. It revealed opportunity. and I would take it piece by piece until I controlled everything they thought they could control. For the first time, I felt truly alive in this game of power. And I wasn't about to lose, not to him, not to anyone. I walked into the boardroom, my heels clicking on the polished floor, and felt a rush of satisfaction. The investors were waiting, some skeptical, some curious, but all attentive. "Ms. Clark," one of them said, frowning slightly, "you're moving fast. Are you sure the numbers are realistic?" "I'm sure," I said, voice calm, steady. "We've analyzed every variable, anticipated every risk. This plan isn't just numbers, it's strategy, timing, and execution." Another investor, a sharp-eyed man named Victor, leaned forward. "And you're confident Leo won't interfere?" I smiled faintly. "I don't rely on others' interference. I rely on precision. If he tries, he'll only slow himself down." Mia, standing beside me, caught my eye and nodded. Sheep in my shadow, my support, and my reality check all at once. After the meeting, a new face entered, Ethan, a business consultant recommended by Mr. Hahn. Tall, confident, his presence commanding, but his eyes kind. "I hear you're the one shaking up the market," he said, extending a hand. I shook it firmly. "That's the idea. I prefer results over reputation, but reputation follows results." He smiled.
Good.
"I like your style. I think we'll work well together." Inside, I felt a spark of something I hadn't felt in months. Not anger, not revenge, but potential. Someone who believed in strategy over ego. Later, Leo called, his tone falsely casual. "I hear you're expanding fast. Careful. You don't want to overreach." I laughed quietly, more to myself than him. "Thanks for the concern. But I know my limits, Leo. Unlike you, I plan my moves carefully." "You're bold," he said, a note of warning in his voice. "Don't get carried away." "Boldness is a strength, not a weakness," I replied smoothly. "And this time, I'm not letting anyone intimidate me." After hanging up, I turned to Ethan. "I like your input on the upcoming merger," I said. "Be honest, don't sugarcoat." "I wouldn't dream of it," he replied. "Your plan is solid, but timing is everything. If we adjust this slightly, your growth will double in 6 months." I felt a thrill. This was the first time someone not only supported me, but elevated my strategy. "Exactly why I needed you," I said. "Let's make it happen." That night, I sat alone in my office, reflecting. My ex-husband would hear about this expansion, notice the investors' confidence in me, but he wouldn't understand the mind behind the moves. That thought made my pulse quicken. I whispered to myself, "He thinks he knows me. He doesn't. He never will." Ethan poked his head in. "Working late again?" "Always," I said. "I'm building something bigger than mistakes and betrayals. I'm building something they'll regret underestimating." "You've changed," he said softly. "There's fire in you now, but it doesn't make you bitter." "Maybe," I said. "Or maybe it's just focus. I won't let anger cloud my judgment. I learned that the hard way." I leaned back, letting a slow smile form. Every step I take now, every move, every alliance that's mine. And for once, I feel in control. Strong. Unstoppable. The city lights outside my window reflected in my eyes. My rise had only just begun, and I could feel the world bending slightly to my momentum. And somewhere in the shadows, I knew he was watching. Underestimating me. Soon that would be his biggest mistake, that I was reviewing the latest reports when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "We need to talk. Urgent." I frowned. Who even? The line clicked, and a familiar voice came through. "It's me, Leo." I froze. "Leo? After everything? What could you possibly want?" "There's the problem," he said, voice tight. "I didn't see it coming, and I need your advice." I leaned back, skeptical. "Advice? After betraying me, you want guidance?" "I'm listening." He hesitated. "The merger, there's an internal leak. Someone on my team is sabotaging me. Investors are pulling out. It's a mess." I bit my lip, processing quickly. Part of me felt satisfaction, karma already at work. but another part was alert. You expect me to help you? No, he said, quick and defensive. I'm not asking for mercy. I need strategy. You're good at reading people, predicting moves. Help me fix this, or it all collapses. I smiled faintly, cold and precise. Interesting. So the betrayer is now the desperate one. Ironic. Yes, ironic, he admitted, almost bitterly. But I didn't expect anyone else to be involved. It's chaos. I'm overwhelmed. I sat up straighter. You know what? Maybe this is the test. How you handle consequences. Or maybe it's my chance to decide if I want to intervene. I'm not asking for intervention, he said, exasperated. You're the only one I trust to think clearly under pressure. I laughed softly, tilting my head. Trust? That's rich coming from you. I could help, but it comes at a cost. What cost? He asked warily. Control, I said, voice low. I guide you through this, but I call the shots. Your future, your mistakes, your next moves, I dictate the terms. Silence. Then a shaky breath.
Fine, he said.
Do it. Just help me survive this. I smirked, feeling the thrill of power surge through me. Good. Step 1. Identify the leak. Step 2. Rebuild confidence with your investors. Step 3. Don't make a move without consulting me. Understood, he said, defeated. I can't believe I'm agreeing to this. That's because you didn't think you'd ever need me, I said. And now you do. Funny how life works. I hung up and leaned back, letting the irony sink in. Karma had started its work, yes, but so had opportunity. I could shape this, twist in my favor if I played carefully. Mia peeked into the room. Everything okay? Better than okay, I said, smiling faintly. Leo's in trouble. The tables are turning, and I get to decide how it plays out. Her eyes widened. You're going to help him? I'm going to control the outcome, I said, eyes glinting. Whether he likes it or not, whether he deserves it or not. This isn't mercy, it's power. And for the first time in months, I felt a dangerous kind of excitement, thriving on chaos, on unpredictability, on knowing that the next move was mine. I walked into the boardroom, the sunlight glinting off the polished table, and saw him, my ex-husband, sitting there, expression tense. Claire, he said, voice careful. I didn't expect you here. I smiled faintly, controlled, letting just enough satisfaction show. I suppose you didn't expect anything from me anymore, did you? He shifted in his seat. I hear you're making moves, aggressive ones. I didn't realize you were capable of winning. I interrupted, eyes sharp.
Yes.
I am. And today, I'm not here to negotiate. I'm here to finalize. He blinked, confusion flashing across his face. Finalize what? I held up the contract. Your company. I bought it. Entirely. Every asset, every share. It's mine now. He laughed, disbelief mixed with fury. You can't. That's impossible. I'm the majority shareholder. Not anymore, I said firmly. The deals were discreet, the timing perfect. You didn't see it coming because you never took me seriously. That was your mistake. His face darkened. Claire, this is betrayal. You can't. I'm not betraying you, I said, voice icy. You betrayed me first. You humiliated me. You underestimated me. I didn't need revenge, but I wanted justice. And this is it. He stood abruptly, knocking his chair back. This isn't fair. I built that company. Built. I asked softly, stepping closer. You built it on arrogance and selfishness. I built the strategy to claim it. Planning, timing, patience, things you lacked. And now it's mine. Silence hung between us. He ran a hand through his hair, trying to mask the panic. And you're just going to take it all? Yes, I said. Everything. Not out of spite, not entirely, but because I finally realized my worth. I'm not powerless anymore. I'm unstoppable. Mia entered quietly, standing beside me. She's right, she said softly. We've worked too hard for this to be anything less than complete. Ethan appeared as well, offering a small, approving nod. She's changed the game. Not just for you, Claire, for everyone watching. I turned back to him, voice calm but sharp. Do you understand now? The woman you thought you broke is stronger, smarter, and more resilient than you ever imagined. This isn't just business, it's closure. He sank into the chair, defeated, chest heaving. I didn't think. You didn't think I'd rise, I said, smiling faintly. You never did. And now, everything you relied on is mine. But don't confuse triumph with happiness. There's still a scar here. I touched my chest lightly. A reminder of what I endured. I'm stronger, yes, but I'm not naive. Mia whispered. You've come so far. Look at you. I glanced at her, eyes softening for a moment. Yes, but the journey isn't just about defeating him. It's about reclaiming me. And today I've done both. He looked at me, finally seeing the woman he had underestimated. Claire, you've changed everything. Yes, I said firmly. And now, I choose my future. Not him, not his empire, mine. I walked out of that boardroom, heels echoing like a heartbeat, feeling both the thrill of victory and the weight of the past. He had underestimated me once. Never again. And for the first time in years, I felt completely in control. My phone buzzed. A name I hadn't wanted to see flashed on the screen. Him. My ex-husband. I hesitated. Should I answer? Curiosity battled caution. Finally, I swiped. Claire, his voice was low, hesitant. I need to speak to you. I exhaled slowly. I'm listening, I said, keeping my tone neutral.
Calm.
Calculated. I've made mistakes, he said quickly, stumbling over the words. I didn't realize. I was wrong. I humiliated you. I hurt you. You didn't realize, I repeated softly, cutting him off. Do you know what that feels like? To be betrayed by the person you trusted most? To watch everything you believed in collapse. I know now, he said, desperation creeping into his voice. I see it now and I want to make amends. Please, can we try to fix this? I closed my eyes for a moment, the memory of tears, of humiliation, of betrayal rushing back. Fix this, I whispered. Do you think it's that simple? I'll do anything, he pleaded. I'll change, I swear. I'll prove it to you. Prove it, I echoed, my voice steady but sharp. You think apologies, promises, or grand gestures erase years of betrayal? You think I would ever be that naive again? I miss us, he said, voice cracking. I made a terrible mistake.
Claire, please.
Don't leave me like this. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling.
Calm.
Collected. I'm not the person you left. I'm not the one who begged for your attention or tolerated humiliation. That woman is gone. She's gone because she finally realized her worth, and that worth doesn't include you. He fell silent. I could hear the panic, the disbelief. Claire, please. You don't get it, I said, voice quiet but firm. This isn't about punishment. It's about understanding. You hurt me. You betrayed me.
You had your chance to be better and chose not to.
Now, your regret is yours to carry, not mine to erase. I can't lose you, he said finally, desperation raw. You already lost me, I said, soft but unyielding. And I'm not coming back. Not to the past. Not to vulnerability. Not to you. Silence filled the line. Then, almost like a whisper, Claire? Yes, I asked calm. I understand, he said finally. I'm sorry. Truly. I nodded, though he couldn't see it. Then let that be enough for you. I've moved on. And so should you. I hung up, feeling this strange mix of satisfaction and lingering sting. Justice had arrived, not as vengeance, but as truth. He felt regret. I felt closure. And for the first time in years, I smiled, knowing I was free. I sat in my office, the city lights stretching endlessly outside the window. Everything I had worked for glimmered in those lights. Wealth, power, control. But the quiet reminded me of what I had lost, what I had endured. Ethan leaned against the desk, arms crossed. You've done it, Claire. Honestly, I didn't think anyone could pull it off like this. I smiled faintly. Neither did I, at first, but I learned fast. People underestimate me, and that's their weakness. Mia appeared with a cup of coffee, setting it down gently. And now look at you, in control, unstoppable, yet somehow calmer. I like this version of you. I like it too, I said, taking a slow sip. But calm doesn't mean I've forgotten. The scars, they remind me of where I came from and who I refuse to be again. Ethan nodded. Do you ever think about him? I paused, thinking of my ex-husband. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the humiliation, all of it. Sometimes, I admitted, not in anger anymore. That ship has sailed. But I think about lessons learned, about strength, about how I refuse to let him define me. Mia sat across from me. You've changed not just in power, but in perspective. You're inspiring. Maybe, I said softly, or maybe I just survived. But surviving isn't enough anymore. I want more. I want purpose, clarity, control of my life, not revenge alone. Ethan smirked.
You've got all of that now.
And more than anyone imagined you could. I laughed quietly. I suppose I do. But wealth and influence, they're just tools. Real victory is knowing I can stand firm, make decisions, and not let anyone manipulate me again. Mia leaned closer. And forgiveness? Do you think you can forgive fully? I shook my head slowly. Forgiveness is complicated. I forgive for my own peace, not theirs. Karma did its work, and that's enough. My job was to grow, not to obsess over payback. Ethan smiled. And grow you have. The woman who walks in here tonight is nothing like the one who left him. Stronger, smarter, wiser. And you did it on your terms. I looked out at the skyline, reflecting on the journey. The betrayals, the lessons, the near failures, and the triumphs. It wasn't just about defeating him, I murmured. It was about reclaiming me. Every step, every risk, every moment of fear, it shaped this woman. Mia raised her cup. To you, Claire. To strength, loyalty, and wisdom. I clinked my cup against hers, a quiet smile on my lips.
To growth.
To life lived fully, even with scars. Ethan added, and to the future. One you create, not one anyone else dictates. I nodded, feeling the weight of truth in his words.
Yes.
I'm in control. I have power, wealth, and allies I trust. But most importantly, I have myself. That's the victory I will never trade. The city lights shimmered, reflecting in my eyes. I had come full circle, from pain to power, betrayal to self-realization. And though some scars remained, they were no longer chains. They were reminders of resilience, strength, and the woman I had become. And for the first time in my life, I felt complete. I stood on the balcony, the morning sun spilling gold across the city. The air smelled fresh, crisp, full of possibilities. For the first time in years, I felt free. Ethan joined me, holding 2 cups of coffee. You look different, he said softly, handing me one.
Calmer.
Happier. I accepted it, taking a slow sip. I feel different. Lighter. I've carried a lot of weight for years. But now, I gestured toward the skyline. It's mine to claim. Every decision, every moment, every opportunity. Mia appeared behind us, smiling. And you're not doing it alone. That's what makes it beautiful. I nodded, glancing at my 2 closest allies.
No.
I've learned something important. Success isn't just about revenge or power. It's about connection, about trust, about people who see you, not just what you can do for them, but who you are. Ethan's eyes met mine, warm and steady. And have you found what you were looking for? I smiled faintly, letting the warmth seep in. I think I have. Not in money, not in influence, not even in triumph over him. It's in this moment, with friends who stood by me, allies I can trust, and a future that's mine to shape. Mia nudged me playfully. And maybe love, too? I laughed softly.
Maybe.
I've learned not to rush, not to force feelings. Love will come when it's meant to, not because it's convenient or expected. Ethan reached for my hand, a gentle squeeze. Then I'll wait. For the right time, for what we both deserve. The breeze carried a soft sigh of relief. I felt a strange mixture of satisfaction and hope. I'm ready, I whispered. Ready to leave the past behind, to embrace everything I've earned and everything I've learned. Mia smiled knowingly. You've grown so much. I can't imagine anyone else going through this journey and coming out so grounded, so strong. I looked out over the city, reflecting. All the betrayals, the heartbreak, the moments of doubt, they shaped me. They made me cautious, clever, and capable. But more than that, they made me resilient. I remember thinking I was powerless, I said quietly. I thought betrayal defined me, that my failures and heartbreak would trap me forever. But it didn't. I reclaimed myself. I reclaimed my future. And now, I took a deep breath, letting the sunlight warm my face. Now I stepped forward with no fear, no regrets. Ethan smiled. Then here's to the new beginning you deserve. I raised my cup. To trust, to growth, to courage, and to the life I'll live on my terms. Mia joined in, laughter bright and light. To Claire, unstoppable, unbroken, unforgettable. I let their words sink in, feeling a rare, pure sense of peace. The scars remained, yes, but they no longer ached. They were reminders of strength, lessons learned, and battles won. And as the sun rose fully over the city, I felt ready. Ready for challenges, ready for joy, ready for love, ready for life. For the first time in forever, it was truly mine.